And we're taking the opportunity of the 30-minute break to adjust the front struts. We feel as though we need a bit more ride height in the front, so the boys maintain they can do it within 15 minutes. So we're taking the front struts out and raising it about half an inch. We're certainly getting some miles under the car at the moment, and we knew we had to do it at this 30-minute break, and so we'd planned for it. So no, we're not agitated. It's,
there's a real air of urgency about it, though.
Oh, well, service breaks. That's what it's all about. Get the job done and have some spare time up your sleeve so as we can get on with the finessey parts of the service break.
After a well-deserved break and the compulsory Big Mac, it was back to the forests. It was time for the challenge to begin. Although Coote was the fastest on the first stage after the break, Carr, Clark and Davidson were also only 1 second slower. On the next stage, Greg Carr really drove the stage of the rally by taking 9 seconds from Coote to be the fastest. Obviously then found some form, he finished third, then Clark and Oldinsky. The second half for New Zealand contingent Murray Walker was leading his class, and at this time was 12th outright. Walker and his little Suzuki GTI recently were placed 10th outright in the Rally of New Zealand, which is, by the way, a round of the World Championship. On the next stage, Coote showed the way, with Officer and Clark second. Officer was starting to show some of his Australian champion style. Carr struck again with a challenge to Coote by taking fastest by all of 1 second. And as predicted, it was a Coote and Carr shootout. Davidson was consistent in third place, showing the way to the more fancied crews. Davidson had made the long journey to polish up his pace note-making skills. The results provided that it was working. Canberra's Peter Clark moved into third place after Davidson applied the heat and moved into second place. Eadie and Oldinsky moved into fourth place. It's incredible to think that after 16 special stages, these two drivers are exactly equal. Former ACT champion and Australian Rally sprint winner John Waterhouse had powered the Reliance Rotary RX-7 into 11th place. Considering the stiff opposition, this was an outstanding effort for their team. Into the night stages, Greg Carr was in 6th place. When the pressure's on, he's the very best that Australia has to offer. Carr beating Coote again to take fastest time by 8 seconds. As this was only a short stage, his time was an indication that he was driving as fast as he had probably ever driven. Officer was again third fastest, with Davidson only 2 seconds slower. Even with about 600 watts of driving lights blazing into the night, it's still hard to see the road. This is the very magic of rally. From inside, it's a flurry of hands and feet in total unison while listening to the navigator's instructions. Get it right, and it's a richly rewarding experience. It's a great challenge to drive one of these cars at impossible speeds through the forest at night. Positions stay basically the same, with some drivers travelling just a little bit slower on the tricky foresty roads. Waterhouse continued his battle to get into the top 10 with an inspiring drive in the tricky RX-7. Leading the front-wheel drive brigade was Adrian Taylor in the CX Honda. He was certainly throwing the car round, proving that front-wheel drive is no disadvantage. Ian Redx, son of Redx trial winner Jim Redx, was putting in a spirited performance in his Australian debut at the Peugeot 205 GTI. These cars have scored many successes overseas, including the World Championship. The big crowds favoured as the cars charged around each part of this demanding course. As the night stage unfolded, some of the major competitors ran into trouble. What was to come would be the most exciting part of this 1988 Asanta Australian Finance Rally. But the hell-raising continued. This was no time to back off. The man they had to catch was the champion Murray Coote.
Well, how will you sleep tonight?
Very well, I reckon.
What's the pressure on you like now? You're going in tomorrow morning leading.
Yeah, well, as far as the Australian Rally Championship goes, yeah, I've got to treat that as paramount importance. So, just back off that little bit like we have done since Greg had his little bit of trouble, but we are still trying to get going a bit too.
You look a bit puffed.
That was hard work.
Thank goodness that's over.
There's a bit of a split there.
Be the trickiest roads I've ever driven on. They got a character all of that, haven't they?
What, that last one?
Oh, all of them. They all got. They're really different.
Well, you
Yeah.
got more of the same tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting used to it. I think.
It looks as though you've got second place at this stage too.
Why would that be? We're not going fast. I know that.
You can go a little harder.
Oh yeah.
Hard enough to catch Murray.
Oh no. We could never beat the 3-2-3s. We knew that when we came. You know. No sense of being silly. I said no sense of being silly. We knew we couldn't beat them.
But you're putting up a great show though.
Oh no, they have to break.
Looking forward to tomorrow morning.
Yeah, looking forward to tonight. Bit of a break. It's good to finish early.
Greg, I think you've set fastest time on every section tonight.
I don't think we would have done that one. It's a bit too slippery for us. I'd be surprised if we. What we're just doing, we're going a good plan with time as hard as we can. And
I think it's two-wheeling, Max. Getting wheel spin is like driving a front-wheel drive car at the moment.
What's it like? There's only 3 brakes though.
Oh, the brakes are all right, but it's the like one corner it wasn't very good. It just wanted to plough straight on, getting a lot of wheel spin, and we're just giving a lot of tender loving care at the moment.
Can you get it back onto 4 wheels tomorrow?
Oh, we're going to try, so we'll see how we go. That's the best we can do.
Later in the night, the fortunes of Greg Carr would change, with his Starion mysteriously stopping in Vanity's Crossing, losing him over 2 minutes. This would have a profound effect on his driving on Sunday. Could the 6 times winner of those most famous Castrol's beat the challengers from Queensland on his home ground? The late stages had ended. The crews returned once again to rally headquarters where the cars were impounded. The drivers' ever-efficient service crews were allowed to take the cars from the impound 1 hour early on Sunday morning for much-needed servicing and repairs. These dedicated mechanics can just about repair anything in this time. Next time you're down at the garage, ask the boys if they can change a gearbox in 15 minutes too. Tylus organisers, all 600 of them, planned another 16 stages for the weary and battle-scarred crews to tackle. This was the first time the Asanda Rally was held in Canberra, as the rally for the last 10 years had been run on the central coast of New South Wales. The rally has consistently been the best on offer since the famous Southern Cross Rally, once regarded as the toughest in the world. On the first morning stage, the Coote-Carr battle continued, with Coote being the victor. Carr was really trying though. He continued to be faster than Davidson in the raunchy Nissan. Coote equalled Edie on the next stage, but the flying Carr was a full 10 seconds faster than both. It was Carr again reliving the pressure he would have felt 10 years earlier in the Castrol Rally. Carr has beaten 3 world champions, and as the undisputed king of Canberra forests, all the other competitors were invading his backyard. The only trouble was that he was battling them with a car more suited to long-distance type of rallying. Undeterred, he fought on. The mine shaft, a sheer 100-metre drop over the edge. It's so steep, you can't walk down it without falling over. In a rally car, it's yet another hazard to negotiate as quickly as possible. Drivers are forewarned of hazards like this in the navigator's road book. As you can imagine, it's important for the navigator to get these instructions right. By allowing pace notes, most of the crews are able to do a complete check of every twist and bend in the rally a week before the start. The cars passed through the mine shaft stage twice on Sunday morning. It's always proved to be a popular spectator area, with hundreds of people gathering to take in the action. As safety is of paramount importance, Canberra's skilled amateur radio network was brought into action to provide stage-by-stage communication for the rally. Although not affecting placings in the rally, the next stage proved to be trouble for all three front runners. One of the most demanding stages in the